Hi, thanks for joining us. My name is Quartz FreeWater, and I will be guiding you through the FreeWater organization presenting FreeWater Fest, a body of work curated for the freedom to feel. Um, so before we even get started in this, what does free water mean and why is there a little festival? Well, free water stands for, sorry for hitting the mic. Let's come around the corner here. Whoa, little 360. Stands for wealth, art, thought, education, and resources. So the point of this exhibit is on my journeys, courses, journeys. Um, the one thing I've realized talking to everyone in America, hitchhiking, being out in the mountains, the deserts, all these places, is uh, not the lack of freedom, I guess the lack of freedom. Even if we consider ourselves free, we aren't free a lot of times. A lot of times, we aren't free to think for ourselves. We don't have enough love, or, that part of wealth. We aren't free to create. We aren't free to get the education we desire. Or even having the resources. A lot of things I've seen in my travels is a lot of people may have things and not use them, and there's a lot of people dying for the opportunity to have uh, the resources. That let it be a computer, let it be just clean water or a place to sleep. So it inspired me to start this organization. And in order to raise awareness and funds for it, we decided to have an art show with the photos that I shot on 35 millimeters. So let's get started real quick. You enter the art show, and here, yes, that's me smiling. We have some dogs, dogs, and my dog, homeboy. Uh, and this is my Shasta trip. And this means a lot to me because I started out with nothing, right? And here we have the view on the mountain looking out, and we have the pups that drove up to the mountain and they saw it. They said, "Whoa, that's a big mountain. I think we're going to stay in the car." I think you got that one. And although I have a smile in this picture, um, it was yes, it was a good time, but you see how steep it was, and I was really stoked to have everything. I was in New York modeling at the time, um, so I didn't have any of my adventure gear, and I got some interesting downloads at the start of COVID. I decided to go through the chakras and just reevaluate everything. And one thing that really happened was getting triggered during the whole um, ordeal due to kind of our worst fears becoming realities. And that's how we got to Shasta, because it's the root chakra of the world. So we decided, okay, if we're having a little hard time with the root chakra, if we go to the root chakra of the world, we'll be able to heal ourselves and lead the example for healing for others. And I learned a lot on the mountain, and this corner specifically is, I would say, the learning corner. If I'd be, whatever. Um, the reason I call it the learning corner is, as you can see, the mountain. Yes, uh, there was snow, there was little clouds and things of that nature. But once I started hiking and started getting closer, visibility dropped, and I had to hunker down and just find a bush to not even necessarily give you all the way shelter like you're inside the bush, but to just stop you from falling off the mountain because it's so steep. And I'm in my sleeping bag in the middle of a snowstorm, and I find peace that um, I finally had a chance to meditate with the universe and with spirit. And I really thought this was going to be a very climactic, uh, experience. Um, Personally, I wouldn't even say it was a breakup because you'd have to officially date, but um, feeling like you found that love and missing the opportunity or messing it up or things of that nature. And a lot of times we distract ourselves by doing all these other things like hiking a mountain, right? And believing that, okay, if I hike this mountain, then, you know, I'm going to do this and do that, and it's going to keep me busy and all these things. And it was interesting to get to the top and sit and meditate, and it's just saying that true love is more valuable than anything you can find on this planet, because you can find a rock, you can find snow, you can find herbs, you can find water, you can find all these elements and ingredients, but can you find energy? Can you find true unconditional love? And that's that's what I got from being in that storm. And it was really interesting because it's like, oh wow, that's it. And it was like, yes, you have to go back and talk to this person. And that is not what I wanted to do, because being afraid of, I guess, getting our feelings hurt again. So that leads us to our next exhibit, because the love for them transcends into kind of everything that I do or a person does if you are in love. And as you see in this exhibit, you just feel the energy on the walls of, yeah, we were just in a mountain and now we're in the city. If you're familiar with the subway station, then we're in New York. And these buildings mean a lot because these were the sites of the last time I saw them, really. Um, I guess saw them and we were on good terms. Every time after that, it's been a little weird. And it's it just radiates love. Like I can just stare at these all day, and the reason is because you can look at these buildings, you can look at these lines, you can look at these circles, and it's not a subway station. It's geometry. It's not the YMCA. It's you know a tower, right? These aren't just buildings. These are scales. These are colors that pop, brown and blue. Um, and these are just in our everyday surroundings. So to experience this, where a lot of times we might be blind to it, and that is where we come to this one. I'm gonna close the door so we can see it fully, right? Of I call it division, because you see there it says sunshine, right? And it's on Division Street, 27. That's how old I am. And this piece is really talking about how we can be so much in anxiety, so anxious, so um, kind of surrounded in our own thoughts that we can't see the sunshine because we're on Division Street. So again, I can talk about that one a lot more, but I want to get through this really quickly, so you're not here all day. If you guys want to come and watch the full thing, you can go check out Art Steps, link in the bio, the website, all these other things. But this is just a quick little run through. And the reason I had this one so small, because it's just, um, I want you to get closer. We had it a little bit larger, and we decided to print it a little smaller, put a frame on it. And it's called Lovebirds. It's hard to get this exactly right here, and to even see the birds. Here we go, of them flying away, and that's kind of what I wish me and this person can do. Just sell some art and fly away, right? Be free from our fears, be free from, our anxieties. Uh, yeah, and, of course, we have the piece in the back, and, we'll talk more about that at a later date. Adventures by Quartz FreeWater, captured on 35 millimeter film. So don't forget that, guys. Captured on 35 millimeter, all shot on film. Here's Sedona. And Sedona was a big factor in the free water movement, kind of solidifying it. My dream has always been to start a commune and to be able to do that in Sedona with just some random people I met. I wouldn't say random because we're all tribe in the desert, and just us clicking and getting along and hanging out by the water. And you see, we're having a picnic and giving back massages, healing, and I'm doing tarot readings. And my thoughts were, how are we going to expand this so the whole world can experience this, not just a couple people in the desert who found, a cool little spot that nobody really checks on, um how can we own the land? How can we, you know, provide this for ourselves, others, and future generations, the whole world? And that's when the gears started spinning on the Free Water organization, and here we are. And fortunately, I got a film camera and started shooting, and got my first couple roles developed, and decided to do this amazing project. Now we have myself smiling with my hair, with a beautiful desert background. You, I'm not going to say you can't beat it, because you're going to see some landscapes coming up soon. But man, that desert sunset, just the desert in general, whether it be as physically harsh as the desert is, as anyone knows, everything in the desert is trying to kill you. Um, Energetically is very loving. So physically, you're probably gonna get beat up. It's hot, it's sweaty, everything's sharp and sticky, and on the inside, you're gonna feel great. So that's where we get to the last picture of ecstatic dance on Tuesdays in Sedona, if you know. Um, and this one means a lot because during COVID and, everything going on in the world, you still have dancing. It kind of feels like the movie Footloose, where it's like no dancing, no touching, no loving, count the hugs, count your separation, be this, be that. And how often do we say be free, or build up your immune system, be healthy, be loved? Know that if you were strong and loved, that you wouldn't have an issue. Like, as we zoom in, one thing again, we can sit here all day talking about each individual person and their movements and their legs, and even my bag in the photo. it's it's awesome just to see people being free and to not even think about anything, and we're just out in the middle of the desert. Look at the scenery, no buildings, no nothing. As some would say, just big old giant dirt rocks. I really enjoy the red dirt rocks, so I also really enjoy these red sunsets. So let's get in position to look at these. And starting out, we have a beautiful, beautiful sunset in Los Angeles, Venice Beach. Um, that's a whole story. That was on a full moon as well. Lots of shenanigans and adventures going on that night, but we're running out of time. This one is in Mount Shasta, in the field at the headwaters, I believe. And you just Shasta is so magical that you just really feel the spirits call you. And for this one, I just took the photo, and you just have this huge aura in the middle, and that's what it felt like. It just felt like a huge like deity being, just energy, a lot of beings put together, even like a transform, not transform, but a Power Ranger or a Voltron or something like that, to become the super being, the super deity. And yeah, it's pretty magical to experience that, and also pretty magical to capture and share it. So this one also very magical of flying into Miami, um, and capturing the sun set and the clouds, and just being in the sky after being through so much at the time, and using Miami to kind of bounce back after, kind of, sometimes we have wins, sometimes we have losses, we have lessons, and Miami was to get us back on the horse and remind us who we were. And this picture was the first step in doing that and being like, wow, you know, a big part of the organization is because we are familiar with depression and understanding, all right, depression comes when we are anxious or, feel that there's lacking in our lives and things of that nature. And that's where free water comes in of, all right, let's help you get out of this versus just, oh, things are going to be okay. It's, oh, do you have the ability to freely think? Do you have the ability to freely create? Do you have the ability to educate yourself? Do you have the resources? Are you depressed because, you want to travel and you feel that you can't do this, or you just want to eat good food or eat food in general? I've been there with an empty refrigerator. And to be through all that and to see things like this, uh, means a lot. And we have our last photo. Um, we captured this one in Miami, sunrise, shot on 200 ISO, um, which is phenomenal. If you haven't shot on it or understand film or anything like that, I say I highly recommend it. Getting up early to catch the sunrise, and I'll leave with this because each photo does have so much of a story. But to catch the sunrise meant so much because I got to Miami, and the other one's a sunset, so I haven't gotten a sunrise, Um, so I'm like, all right, I'm really stoked to be on the East Coast. I was on the West Coast. We got the sunrise and this, right? So I get up really early and head to the beach, right? And I feel that I miss it because I'm not familiar with the start and set the rising time, um, with Miami yet. And I'm like, oh, I missed the sunrise, and I decided just to shoot the ground. I said I'm just gonna shoot something, right? I'm just gonna shoot the water. Although it did come out, nice. Uh, I sat there a couple more minutes, and the sun started coming up, and I said, "Wow, I thought I missed the sunrise, and here it is." So not only am I seeing one of the most beautiful sunrises in my life, uh, I go to take the picture and I hit the click, and it turns out I'm out of film. I didn't bring any extra film. I didn't bring any extra camera. I have four cameras now, and I didn't bring another one. I didn't bring any extra film, because I was rushing to capture this moment. And it was very interesting. It taught me a life lesson to not rush to capture the moment, but to enjoy the process, enjoy preparing for the moment, enjoy getting the film and putting it in the camera, making sure you have enough, shots, and making sure you have an extra roll, make sure you have an extra camera just in case, something happens in between, or a different lens, being ready for all sorts of changes. And I really take that lesson to heart now, and I've been getting up and working and realizing that it's not necessarily about just rushing to the opportunity, because a lot of times we do that. What if we rush to a job interview? We ran, right, and we're early, but we're all sweaty and we're stinky, and we actually forgot our resume to print it out, and we have mixed match shots on because we wanted to rush and get there, right? But when we got there, we weren't prepared, and we can miss our opportunity like that. So since then, we've been staying prepared and we captured this one, didn't we? So high five for myself for capturing this one on the 200, where you can still see the circle, the big ball of fire we call the sun, and the blues and the rays, and yeah, it's just a golden time, and that is our time. So if anyone's been interested, I know this was a very quick run through with all the paintings and things of that nature. Well, not paintings, photos. Um, they do feel like paintings when you're in the landscape, and that is, I'll say this. Um, that's always been my dream. Whenever I went to museums, I would just stare at landscape forever. And the ability to present landscape pieces means a lot. Yeah. So before I get all sentimental, if anybody would like to know more about these pieces, you can definitely contact me. We can talk, chit chat if you're interested in supporting the art show, from turning it from virtual to a physical show where we have such big ideas of live streaming, bringing it to you guys. And so much more to come. I don't want to announce too much until we really get the ball, um, get everything rolling. So in order to help us get rolling, any donations greatly appreciated on the GoFundMe. And if you want to make a very generous donation, very needed, very very needed generous donation, uh, you can contact me. And we can discuss the art if you've seen anything that caught your eye. And again, you can go on Art Steps, check out the virtual tour, spend some time with the pieces yourself, and definitely marinate. Get the music, play some frequencies. Get you a little drink, right? Get cozy and enjoy the pieces. I don't want people to rush like I had to. We could have been here for an hour. Um, and maybe we should. But till next time, I'll see you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching this. And yeah, thanks to everybody for their support. Thanks to everybody who supported the journey on the way to capture these photos and on the way to building this um, virtual venue, and then getting our physical venue. So, thanks again. Much love. And until next time.